People say, do you really have a PhD? Boy, you'd be amazed how many folks in debates say, oh, you don't have a real PhD. Well, I think you have the right to face your accusers, obviously. If somebody's saying, I don't have a PhD, then I want you to, come face me face to face and let's talk about it, okay? Give me a chance to defend myself. I'm always ready to answer questions, and no questions I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not hiding a thing. But when somebody starts asking, criticizing somebody's degree or the person personally, it's pretty obvious they're losing the argument on the merit of the arguments, and they're trying to shoot the messenger instead of deal with the message. So, PhD in the dictionary is Doctor of Philosophy. That's all it means, a Doctor of Philosophy. Here's a photograph or a picture of my PhD from Patriot University in Colorado. Patriot University was part of Hilltop Baptist Church for many years. That's where they were when I got my degree from there. Then they have now become independent, and they moved out to Alamosa, Colorado, about 40-50 miles away from Colorado Springs. They are an independent Baptist church that started a seminary to help people get degrees that were in full-time Christian service, which was me. It took me 9 years to finish mine. I worked very hard for mine. I don't know if people work for theirs or not, but I worked hard for mine, and I got a PhD. If you don't like it, then call me Bubba or Kent or Hey You, and let's get back to the topic. Okay, you don't have to call me doctor if you don't like it. Patriot University was established in 1980. It's an extension of Hilltop Baptist Church, and it offered a PhD in education. I spent many years working for my degree, and I learned a lot, and I got a PhD in 1991. They then moved to College Heights Baptist Church in Alamosa, Colorado, where it continues to operate today. Some people put a picture of the church parsonage on their website and said, this is where Hovind got his PhD. Well, the church parsonage has the same address as the church. And how that applies to me, I don't know. I mean, it was a Hilltop Baptist when I got mine, and now it's in Alamosa. This really shows they're desperate and dumb, in my opinion. Some people have ridiculed the size of the school. Well, there's about 3 PhDs per year and about 25 graduates a year out of Patriot University. It's a small Christian college, no question. It'd be interesting if you could see the look on these guys' faces if they knew the size of the school that many of our early presidents or congressmen or military leaders graduated from. If Harvard offers a PhD degree program, it only has 3 students in it, which is often the case, by the way, in many schools, 1 or 2 students many times in a PhD program. What does that mean? I mean they're not accredited? Does it mean they're no good because they've only got 1 student or 2 students? I mean, come on. Use your head. Doesn't mean a thing. They say, is it a diploma mill? You know, they're just cranking out these diplomas and selling them. You can buy it for $100. Well, that's not the case at all, okay? I worked hard for mine. If you don't like it, don't call me that. Don't do whatever you want. Patriot has 25 graduates each year. 3 to 5 are getting doctorate degrees. My 30-year study on creation led me to start this ministry. Full-time 1981, started in 1989, but full-time 91. I speak a little over 800 times a year now on this subject. I've had over 80 debates. I've been a guest on 5,000 radio, TV, call-in talk shows. My itinerary is available on my website. If any evolutionist is interested in a public debate, they're welcome to contact me to arrange a time when I'm in their area and I'll have a debate in a public place like a university. If they don't think I have a doctor's degree, then call me Bubba and let's just discuss the topic of creation. So, we've been offering $250,000 for those that have real evidence for evolution, and I think it's one of the dumbest theories in the history of the world. Darwin's only degree was in theology, but he's called a scientist in the textbooks. That's interesting. Who determines who a scientist is anyway? Who's making this call? You know, a person who studies science is a scientist. Why don't they call him Reverend Darwin? That was his degree. Dr. Morris pointed out, it's worth noting that almost none of the leaders of this evolutionary revival have been trained as scientists in the modern sense. None were educated as physicians, as physicists or chemists or biologists or geologists or astronomers or other natural scientists. Charles Darwin was an apostate divinity student whose only degree was in theology. Charles Lyell was a lawyer. William Smith was a surveyor. James Hutton was an agriculturist. John Playfair, a mathematician. Robert Chambers, a journalist. Alfred Wallace had little education at all and a brief apprenticeship in surveying. Thomas Huxley had a very indifferent education in medicine. Spencer received practically no formal education except in railroad engineering. Thomas Malthus was a theologian and economist. Erasmus Darwin was a medical doctor and a poet. Yet all of these guys are the founders of the evolution theory. Only Jean-Baptiste Lamarck in France and Ernst Haeckel in Germany seem to have a bona fide education in a branch of science, and they all had their particular anti-Christian agenda. Haeckel and Lamarck were wildly wrong, and they used simple lies to promote the evolution theory. So, summary. I earned a PhD from a non-accredited Christian university. Thousands of major world leaders throughout history had no degrees of any kind. Thousands of major universities today offer distance learning, website learning, internet site. You don't have to go to the school to get your degree. In many cases, there's nothing wrong with that. Thousands of people who attend classes in universities cheat, lie, or bribe their way to get a degree. Getting a degree from an accredited university does not guarantee any level of intelligence or accuracy of beliefs. Science has a long history of teaching things that are wrong. If you don't like my degree, call me Kent, and let's get back to the topic. So if I was dumb and desperate, I would start attacking the person's degree instead of attacking the subject, which is exactly what's going on. Tell them to grow up, get a life, and let's get back to the topic.